Good morning to all of you. Welcome to Shriram's IAS. So today we'll be taking a very important topic, okay, and it will be very beneficial for all of you for the upcoming prelims, which is going to be hardly 3 days after today, that is 25th. So these terms which we will be discussing, they are highly probable to come in your 2025 prelims. As when I was taking earlier previous year questions, I already told all of you guys that Sangam literature terms or Sangam age terms are very important, and UPSC has this habit to bring shock value through these questions. Okay, so I would like all of you to go through this particular short video so that you all can basically revise or remember all these terms, which are, I will tell you, it's really very hard for the students of Cow Belt, or we can say Northern India, to remember these kind of terms. Okay, they are tongue twisters for us, including me. So that's why I'm requesting all of you to go through all these terms once through this video. We'll be providing you a PDF also of all these terms. So these are highly probable. So please go through this video once. Fine. So let's start this video without wasting time, because your time is very precious at this point of moment. Okay. So the first slide is about Sangam age literature. Here I have compiled, or you can see the compilation of all the important terms of the Sangam age. Okay, all the important Sangam literature terms. Say Tolkapiyam. Okay, it's a very famous thing. Okay, you all might be knowing this. Tolkapiyam, authored by Tolkapiyar. Okay, the author of Tolkapiyam was Tolkapiyar. It's very easy to remember. The similarity between these two words, Tolkapiyam and Tolkapiyar, is very apparent. Got it? Next, it is a work on Tamil grammar, but it provides information on the political and socio-economic conditions of the Sangam age. Now see, here you need to take care of this particular point, that it's not only a grammar. Of course it was grammar, but apart from that, it was also a political and socio-economic take, or we can say a video, or basically a term describing the socio-economic condition and the political condition of Sangam age period. Got it? Now let's move to the next term. The next term is Ettu Togai, or 8 anthologies. See, Ettu Togai, Ettu is basically in ancient Tamil was 8 only. And anthologies basically means compilation of poem, or we can say write up, a collection. Got it? Now Ettu Togai was a compilation of 8 works of literature. I will not name these ones because I just want you all to go through these terms once. Just look at them and try to make your own mnemonics out of them, or you break them. Say N Guru Nuru. So N Guru Nuru. In this way, you'll be able to remember all these terms. Okay, you can break all these terms to remember all these terms while you give your exam. Got it? You can remember it right now, or you can go through it once. I can assure you that at the last moment, you should basically read all those things which you can vomit out. So the moment you see these terms, or you remember these terms 3 days back, and in exam, if these terms come, then just tick these particular thing, what is the correct answer to it, and move to the next question. That is the whole purpose, whole and sole purpose of this video. Got it? So these are the 8 works under Ettu Togai. And apart from that, there was Pattu Pattu. Pattu Pattu again is 10 idylls. Okay. Now, among those 10 idylls, there are 10 pieces of work, which again are difficult to remember. So break them. I understand it's difficult to remember. So that's why I'm just asking you all to break these long words into short ones. Just I gave example of N Guru Nuru. In the same way, you can break these terms and remember them, or remember a part of it, so that you can address these questions in exam. Because I've seen there's a very common habit among students that they leave these questions. So don't leave these questions. These are easy pickings if you remember them. And UPSC asks these questions very straightforward. UPSC never gets into the concept of all these things. They always check the knowledge, whether you remember or not. So that's why just break these terms and remember it through some formula, some key, or some mnemonics, and that way you can proceed. Got it? Now, I told you about Ettu Togai and then Pattu Pattu. Now, there are some very important things about these two works of literature. The first one is both Ettu Togai and Pattu Pattu were divided into 2 main groups. Okay, let me come this side. Aham and Puram. Got it? Aham and Puram. Aham is about love or romance, and Puram was about valor. Valor means about bravery in the war itself. So that's why these terms Aham and Puram become very important. Okay, so give due importance to these kind of terms. Then another important term, Padri Pattu. What is Padri Pattu? Padri Pattu is basically a part of Ettu Togai. It's one of the literary work among Ettu Togai. So Padri Pattu provides information of Chera kings. Okay, so if a question comes that which particular text describes or tells about Chera kings, then Padri Pattu should be the answer to that. Got it? Next, Pattini Palai portrays Karikala's Cholan king early life and military conquest. See, Karikala was the most famous Cholan king at that time. Let me tell you, this is different from imperial Cholas. During imperial period, basically 10th century, 11th century, the Cholas were the force to reckon with. But during Sangam age, it was Pandyans who were the most powerful ones. Okay, so that's why this particular king Karikala becomes very important, because he is an outlier. Cholans were not that strong at that period of time. So, and he was the ruler among them, the most important one among them. So that's why Karikala becomes very important. And Pattini Pallai, Pattina Appalai, or whatever you can call it, portrays Karikala's early life and military conquest. Got it? Again, Pattiniya Palai refers to the custom officials employed in the seaport of Puhar. Puhar was the most important seaport. Got it? And the reference of Puhar is given in Pattina Palai. So Pattina Palai becomes very important. Two things it says. The first one is Karikala's early life and military conquest, and then about the custom officials employed in the seaport of Puhar. Got it? Now, the next term, which is very important again, is Pattinen Kilakana Nakku. Okay? This one. Okay, it contains 18 works mostly dealing with ethics and morals. Ethics and morals. And the most important work among Pattinen Kilaka Nakku is Tirukural, authored by Thiruvalluvar. Now, why it is important? See, this is the earliest work on ethics and morals in the Indian history. So that's why it becomes very important. I will tell you, I already told you in previous year question discussions also, that our ex-finance minister P. Chidambaram, he used to start his budget speech with quotes or quotations from Tirukural. So that's why this is very important, because it's one of the earliest work. Got it? And what is Tirukural part of? Tirukural is part of Pattinen Kilka Nakku, which is basically 18 works mostly dealing with ethics and morals. I repeated it just to make you all understand that this is very important. Now next one, Silapatikaram. Silapatikaram, very famous epic, like we have Mahabharata, Ramayana, they have Silapatikaram and Manimekalai. Okay, Silapatikaram written by Ilangu Adigal. But there is another very important thing about Ilangu Adigal. Ilangu Adigal was the younger brother of the most famous Cheran king, Cheran Sengutovam. So these things are very important. UPSC can ask questions about these particular relations, that they will ask couple of statements about Ilangu Adigal. They will say, okay, who he wrote Silapatikaram, then he will write ki he had a royal connection through Cheran Sengutovam. So these kind of things can be asked in UPSC. That's why these have been compiled in this particular video. Got it? Now provides, and again Manimekalai. Manimekalai is another famous epic, and it's written by Sattalai Sattanar. Okay? Now the common feature among these two epics was provides valuable information about Sangam polity and society. About Sangam polity and society, they give a valuable information. It's just like Tolakapiyam, because it also tells about important things about political and socio-economic conditions of Sangam period. I'm just establishing relations between two different texts. But try to understand, you need to make these kind of correlations so that you can address these questions in the exam. Got it? Now, the next one is Madurai Kanji. Okay, Madurai Kanji written by Mangadu Murthanar. Got it? These are terms. Break them up, remember it. Break them into multiple words, or you can say subwords. It's not a word, I know, but for the sake of argument, for the sake of this argument's purpose, you can break them into various short words and you can remember them. Okay? Describes the socio-economic condition of the Pandya country, including the flourishing seaport of Korkai. Flourishing seaport of Korkai. Okay, I'll write it again. Korkai. So, UPSC can ask these terms in the exam, that what is Korkai, or which kingdom it belong to, what basically is Korkai. They can confuse you in various terms and ask what basically Korkai resembles. So these kind of things can, or represents, these kind of questions can come in UPSC. That's why this is very important. So this is how this particular table becomes very important. Okay. Now there are myriad of other terms also. So basically the compilation contains all the important terms. Okay, you might not find all of them important right now, but the moment they will come in UPSC exam, they will become very important. So that's why don't leave out these things. These are easy pickings if you give them due attention in this last 3 days. Got it? So moving on to this, there are some important terms. The first one is Muchchangam. Muchchangam basically represents the collection of 3 Sangams. Now, I will not explain right now what is Sangam because we don't have that much time. Just remember these terms. Muchchangam represented 3 Sangams in the ancient Tamil Nadu. Okay, in the later on concept classes which we will be taking, I'll explain you all these things in detail. But as of now, or even in PYQ classes also, I explained Sangam age to you. What is Sangam age, how it came about and all these kind of things. But right now, just concentrate on these terms and revise as much as you can. Okay, so Muchchangam basically represented 3 Sangams. Got it? Next one is Kallanai. What is Kallanai? Kallanai represents dam. It basically represented dam. So UPSC can ask these kind of things, that what does Kallanai represents? So be aware about these kind of terms. Then Nediyo Palyagasalai Mudukudumi Peru Lunidhi. See, it's very difficult for me even. I have read it multiple times to remember these terms. So break them and try to remember them. Okay. Even if you look at them through visual memory, you'll be able to remember it for an exam which is just 3 days short. Okay. And then again, this particular term, Mudathi Ru Maran, the earliest kings of Pandyan dynasty. Okay, these were the earliest kings of the Pandyan dynasty. I already told you all that Pandyan kings were the most, we can say, the most important kings among all the 3 basically kingdoms during Sangam age. They were Pandyans, who were the real patrons of Sangam, the whole Sangam thing. Okay, the conference of sages or the conference of writers, the conference of authors, whatever you want to call it, the real patrons were Pandyans only. Okay. Next one is Arya Padai Kedanta Neduchelian. Okay. Very important again, and it basically represented won victories over the Aryan forces. See, again this becomes very important. Why it becomes important? Because this was the Pandyan king, or the name of the Pandyan king or Pandyan clan, who emerged victorious against Aryan forces. So this becomes important. It's a unique information which you need to carry with yourself. So that's why give due importance to these terms. Again, Talayagara Nattu Cheruvanera Nedu Chaliyam. Again this term, try to understand. This is also very important. Why? There were 2 kinds of Nedu Chaliyam. The first one I already told about the Aryan thing. The second one is about he who won the battle. He who won the battle at Thalyaganam. Okay. So this is how you need to remember all these terms. Break them. Thalayal Lang Ganam. This is how you can proceed with these kind of words. Okay, they might sound funny, but they are very important for you all to remember, because UPSC has the habit that just knowing that people don't have the capacity or don't have the patience to remember these terms. On the basis of that, UPSC plays. So that's why try to remember all these terms, go through all these terms in this last 3 days. Okay, Ugeru Pelvulanadhi. Okay, another very important term. Why? The last famous Pandyan king. The name of the last famous Pandyan king. Pandyans were the most powerful among all the empires in the Sangam age. I am repeating this time and again. The name of that particular king was Ugiru Peruvalu Nidhi. Got it? Next one. Kalabharas. Very important. Kalabharas. Who were Kalabharas? Now, Kalabharas are basically the people or the clan which defeated Pandyan kings, and they were the cause of the decline of Pandyas. The most powerful ones, they were the Kalabharas, were the reason of the decline of Pandyans. Okay, so that's what make Kalabharas important for all of you. Got it? Now let's move to the next slide. I will make it fast. I'll keep it fast because you guys don't have time right now. You need to take care of all these terms. You need to revise other subjects also. Just go through this video for once and just try to mug up as much as you can. Okay? That is the whole purpose of this particular session. Pari, Kari, Ori, Nalli, Piggan, I and Adiyaman. All these terms are important. UPSC can ask all these terms. They will write all these terms and basically we'll ask them that what does they represent. And what were they? They were minor chieftains during Sangam age. What do I mean by, or what this particular slide means by minor chieftains is that Chora, Chelas, Pandyas, they were the most important kingdoms. But apart from there were local chieftains also. And these were the names given to those local chieftains. That's why these all terms become very important. Next one, Kadai Yelu Velangal. Velalgal. Name collectively given to minor chieftains who were popular for their philanthropy and patronage of Tamil poets. Another set of local chieftains. Why another set? Because this was basically an honor given to them from the Tamil poets. Whoever gave them patronage, they gave them a name, and these local chieftains got the name of collectively being called Kadai Velu Valalgal. Okay. Now the next term, Vanavaramban, Vanavan, Katuvan and Erumpurai and Villavar. Okay. These are some important terms. Titles assumed by Chera kings. So these kind of things can be asked, that these are titles which were taken by whom, and options will be there and you need to tick Chera kings. Got it? So these all terms are very important. Go through them. Okay. Next one, Senni, Velavan and Killi. What does these terms represent? These terms represent the titles assumed by Chola kings. Till here it was Chera kings. Now here Senni, Velavan and Killi. These are the titles assumed by Chola kings. You all know that the titles were used by all the kings. In North India, Ashoka took Devanampriya. Okay, before the Samudragupta, Maharaja Dhiraj. And these are terms were taken by these kings. In the same way, the Sangam age kings also took up some titles, and these are some examples of it. Got it? Thinnavar and Minawar. What are these? Thinnavar and Minawar. What are these? Titles assumed by Pandyan kings, like Senni, Velavan and Killi are the titles assumed by Chola kings. In the same way, Thinnavar and Minawar are the titles assumed by Pandya kings. Got it? Now the next one is Avai. What is Avai? Avai is imperial court. Z is wrong. Avai basically represented imperial court. It was the term used for imperial court. So you need to remember that if match the following kind of questions come, and if Avai is asked, what is Avai? You need to match it with imperial court. Okay. Now the next one, What basically Anthanar was? Priests. Anthanar word was used for priests. Okay, very important, very, very important, all these terms. Senapati, as Senapati's term, which is even used in northern India, northern part of India. So you don't, no need to get confused on Senapati. Senapati basically meant military commander. Okay, head of the military. Next one is Thuthar or Thutharar, whatever you want to call it. It basically meant envoys, ambassadors, or whatever you want to call them. So these terms are very important. It can be asked, what does Thuthar basically represents, and you need to tick envoys. Neither priest nor military commander or even spies, but envoys. Got it? The next one is Orer, spies. Orer represented spies. Okay, all these terms are very important. Okay, next one is Kodimaram. What is Kodimaram? Kodimaram was basically tutelary tree planted by the rulers at a central place in the town. Basically, whenever a king had to establish his authority, so he used to announce his authority by planting this tree in the central place of their town or the capital. Okay, and that basically meant Kodimaram. What was Kodimaram? Kodimaram was tutelary tree planted by the king in the central location of his capital. Very important term again. Okay. The next one, Tolkapiyam. I already told you about Tolkapiyam. Okay. It was a work on grammar, but also told about socio-economic condition of Sangamage people. Political and socio-economic. So, Tolkapiyam refers to the five-fold division of lands. Five-fold division of lands. Okay. The first one is Kurinji, hilly tracts. Very important again. Match the following, these kind of things can come. Kurinji represented hilly tracts. Mullai, pastoral lands. Okay. Next one, Marudam, agricultural. Next one, Nedal, coastal. Next one, Palai, Palai, desert. All important pieces of land or the division of the land which was there in Sangamage was on the basis of these five terms. Got it? So try to remember all these things, because these kind of things can come in match the following kind of questions, or select the correct pair kind of questions, or they can even be asked in a statement form. Got it? Now the next one, Amaichar. Amaichar represented ministers. Again a very important term, Amaichar. Amaichar, whatever you want to call it. However you can remember these words, you remember them in whatever pronunciation you are comfortable with. Okay, break them, remember them whatever way. In this particular case, you don't need to break them, but you need to remember it that Amaichar represented ministers. Got it? Next one, Arasar, Athnar, Vanigar, Villalar. All these terms are basically the castes referred in Tolkapiyam. It can be asked, it might be asked that what are these terms represent in Tolkapiyar? These are basically the four castes. And what were these four castes represented? What do they represent? It is a bit different from the caste or the Varna system in the Vedic age. How? Arsar represented ruling class. You can represent them with Kshatriya. Anthanars represented, played a significant role in the Sangam polity and religion. Now, it has not been clearly defined. Of course, through research, I can talk about them more, but you just try to remember that the people of Anthanar's tribe, they basically played a very important and significant role in Sangam polity and religion. Got it? Next one is Vanigars. Carried on trade and commerce. You can relate them with Vaishya. Got it? We Vaishya, we Vanigars. Next, Vellalas, agriculturists. Now, the Vaishya also were agriculturists were also known as Vaishya, but in this case, Vellalas was a term or the caste which did agriculture specifically as a profession. Got it? Next one is Arupadai Vidu. Arupadai Vidu basically meant 6 abodes with which Sion or Murugan was honored. Now, who was Sion? God Murugan. prime deity of Sangamej. Prime deity. Okay, the most important god. And this term, which I just mentioned all of you, that Arupadai Vidu, it was basically 6 abodes with which Lord Murugan or Seyon was honored. Okay, so remember all these kind of terms because these are very important ones. Next one is other gods worshipped during Sangamej. Again, it can be asked which of the following gods were worshipped during Sangamej, and it will give some terms which are related to Vedic age. And through this, you will be confused in the exam. So don't get confused. Okay, just remember all these things. Mayon represented Vishnu. Vendan, Indra. Varunan, no need to say, it was a water god as it is in Vedic age. And then Korvai. Now see, Korvai, very important because it's a bit different from the Vedic age. Of course, you can find some similarities, but this term is very unique. So that's why I remember these kind of terms. Okay. Next one, Amachar. Okay, this one is already done. Now, Amachar is getting repeated here, but anyway, Amachar represented ministers. Next one is Parathavar, Panar, Einar, Kadambar, Marwar and Pulayyar. What are these? These are the terms used for tribal groups. These were tribal groups. These were the names of the tribal groups during that period, during Sangamej. Again, I repeat, Marthavar, Panar, Einar, Kadambar, Marwar and Pulayyar. Okay, remember them. Try to remember them. Try to at least speak these names once so that it can get into your muscle memory. Got it? Next one is Thodas, Irulas, Nagas and Vedars. What are these? These are ancient primitive tribes which existed during Sangamej also. Got it? Different from these. These were tribal groups. These were ancient primitive tribes. Thodas, Irulas, Nagas and Vedars. Some of them still exist. Okay? Next, Nadukal. Nadukal, again very important. Nadukal was hero stone. Nadukal was the word used for hero stone. And why was this hero stone erected? Hero stone was erected in memory of the bravery shown by the warrior in battle. Okay, it was erected on the memory of the bravery of the important fighters during a war. So that's why Nadukal becomes very important. Okay, I'll again repeat, Nadukal represented hero stone. And why it was erected, I told you just now. Okay, next one is Avayyar, Nachalayar and Kalapadaniyar. Okay, why these important? These all are the names of women poets during Sangamej. Very, very, very important. Okay, without fail, you need to remember these words, break them up or do whatever you want to, but remember these terms. Okay, what? Avayyar, Nachalayar and Kakai Padiniyar. Got it? Next one is Karpu. What is Karpu? Karpu represented the chaste life. Chaste life, which basically was considered the highest virtue of a woman. A woman was judged on the virtue of chastity, how pure she is. Okay, before getting married, how pure she is. After getting married, how loyal she is towards or how dedicated she is towards her husband. And the term used for that was Karpu. Karpu represented chaste life. Okay, try to remember these terms. Next one, Panar and Viralayar. Panar and Viralayar. These were singing bards in royal courts. You might be asked, Panars and Viralayar, what does it represent? They were singing bards. The courts were crowded by these people because what used to happen, whenever they used to bring up their bards or songs, whatever they used to sing, at the end of it, king used to give them gifts. And their whole livelihood was dependent on these gifts only. So that's why these people, Panar and Viralayar, they used to sing bards in the royal courts. Got it? Now the next one is Kanigayar. Kanigayar. What does Kanigayar represent? Kanigayar represents They performed dances. Okay, Kanegayar were the people who performed dances. Okay, next, Kuthu. Kuthu, the most popular entertainment of the people. You might be asked, which was the most important entertainment of the people of Sangam age? You will say Kuthu. Basically, you need to tick Kuthu as the right answer. Okay, because these kind of terms are related to the socio-economic life of the Sangam age people. And UPSC has this habit of dwelling into the socio-economic condition of the people of particular period. So these terms become very, very, very important. Kuthu. Puhar. What was Puhar? Puhar was the emporium of foreign trade. Puhar was of a port city and it was an emporium of foreign trade. You might be asked, which of these port cities were the emporium of foreign trade? Puhar will be the correct answer to it. Okay, next one. Tondi, Musiri, Korkai, Arikamedu and Marakanam. What are these? These are ports of commercial activity. You might be given n number of options and you might be asked, among these who were the ports which were famous during Sangam age for commercial activity, and you need to take care of this particular question, because now I have told you that Tondi, Musiri, Korkai, Arikamedu and Marakanam were the most important, commercially most important port towns during Sangam age. Got it? Next one. Augustus, Tiberius and Nero. You all might be knowing all these kings. You might have heard them in the various movies also and pop culture also. But why they become important for Sangam age? Because these were the Roman emperors who issued gold and silver coins. And these gold and silver coins have been found in Tamil Nadu in huge plenty of, you can say, quantity. Got it? Who issued gold and silver coins found across Tamil Nadu. So that's why they become very important. Augustus, Tiberius and Nero. I'll repeat them again. Next one, amateur. Time and again amateur is coming up. It basically represented ministers. Okay. That's it from my side. See, these all terms are very important. Okay. And try to understand, it's going to be a last minute revision and you should take up in that spirit only. Don't dwell too much into all these terms, that what is the story behind all these terms. Just try to remember them, look at them, try to look at them as much as you can while you're going through your dinner or whatever activity you are doing. Just go through all these terms time and again so that you remember them and address the questions which contains these terms in the exam in the first instance that you have been told or you saw this video. So now you must be able to attempt the questions which have these terms. All the best for all of you. These are last 3 days. Try to take care of your health and try to focus on exam and don't be anxious about anything. You all will do good. Okay? Thank you.